Let's not take this episode live so that we don't ever let people know about this tool.
Yeah.
Let's keep it a secret.
Welcome to the Kingspiration Podcast. This is the place where you'll learn how to get unstuck and gain momentum in your life and business. Each week, we tackle the real aspects of entrepreneurship, personal development, relationships, and fitness. I'm your co-host, Ethan King, from Atlanta, Georgia, USA, entrepreneur, TEDx speaker, and best-selling author of Wealth Beyond Money.
And I'm your co-host, Justin King, no relation to Ethan, from Cape Town, South Africa, entrepreneur, speaker, and business growth strategist. Our journey crosses continents and cultures, sharing wisdom and experiences to propel you forward. Welcome to Kingspiration. Let's start the conversation.
All right. So, Justin, have you heard of Notebook LM, that new project from Google?
I have, and I've messed around with it a little bit. I've got a few ideas and use cases rattling around in my mind. But Ethan, you are the AI expert. Very keen to hear what you have found and what your thoughts are.
Yeah, for sure. Before we dive into that, for anyone who has not heard of Notebook LM, just Google it. It's made by Google, but it's literally the word notebook and then LM right after that, all one word. And what it is an AI generated podcast, but it sounds like real people, like this man and this woman having a podcast, a conversation like Justin and I have, but over a subject. I'm going to play an example for you here.
Learn and solve problems.
What's really exciting here is that we're moving beyond simply cramming AI full of data. We're talking about a fundamental shift in how AI thinks.
Okay, so let's unpack that. We're diving deep into a research paper. It's called Meta Prompting for AI Systems.
Okay, so those voices you just heard were not real people. That was an AI woman and an AI man, your podcast hosts who were having a conversation. And in this example, they're having a conversation about a research paper. Okay, cool, right? But I was thinking to myself, what is the practical use of this? Like, what do I do with it? I mean, it's neat that we're able to do that, and it sounds like a very natural, human-sounding conversation. But I actually found a great use case for it the other day. So someone sent me an article, and it was pretty late at night. And I wanted to read this article, but it was really long, and it was about something I was interested in. Like, I think it was about public speaking. And I was like, I want to read this before I go to bed, but I was really tired. So instead, I got the idea to put it into Notebook LM. So I copied the article, put it in Notebook LM, and then it started processing. And then in the morning, when I got up and went for my run, I listen to podcasts all the time anyway while I'm running. So I listened to the podcast that was generated from the article that I want to read. So now, instead of reading the article, I'm running and I'm listening to these people having a conversation about the article. And it's very human sounding. And they're hitting every point in the article. And it was a great way for me to learn, because that's how I like learning anyway, is through audio while I'm working out. But I created this podcast. I created my own podcast with the content that I want, and you can put multiple articles in it. That's why they call it Notebook, because you can create what's called a notebook. So let's say I had multiple articles or sources on the same thing. It could be blogs, whatever, and I could throw them all into this notebook, and then the podcasters talk about all of it. It is mind-boggling, and the quality is good. I didn't feel like I was listening to robots. I felt like I was listening to people.
And I think that's a good point to just jump onto very quickly, because when I was messing around with it, what was incredible was these podcast episodes, they start with a little bit of banter. It doesn't even just sound like two robots going straight into the technical aspects of the article or whatever information you've chucked in. There's a little bit of banter. It's very human-like. It's creepy. It's creepy when you first hear it because of how realistic and how human it is. But there's banter, and then it goes into the topic and that deep dive. And Ethan, I think what you were saying is that's a wonderful use case for it, because it's figure out how you enjoy learning and leverage that. I think that's a wonderful way to use AI, is you can now convert anything into some form of medium for you to consume. Where previously, that was a podcast. I don't listen to podcasts. I prefer reading. You can convert a podcast into a full-on transcript, bullet point notes, and you can read it until your heart's content. Now you can find an article and you can convert it into audio. I have no doubt you would be able to convert that podcast into some form of video content with that audio file as well with AI.
Oh, you can do that
already.
You can do that right now. You can
Yeah.
go to, have you heard of Pictory? Pictory.ai.
No, there we go.
Pictory.ai. I actually have a chapter in the book about this.
Okay.
You can take a script, any script, pop it in there, copy paste, and it will generate an entire video with an AI voiceover narration about that subject.
Amazing.
In 2 minutes. It's crazy.
Yeah. So I'll tell you, I'll very quickly share the use case that I found for Notebook LLM. So anybody who is in personality profiling of any sort, wonderful tool to not only send a client their full Enneagram as an example. You can give them a 52-page PDF report. It's a lot of heavy lifting for that individual. Pop it into Notebook LM. You can You can send them a podcast episode of 2 people discussing their personality and what they're all about.
Wow. Nice.
So that's a good starting point. I'm actually using it to learn more about myself. So I've taken, because I've got insights report and I've got an Enneagram report and I've got a few different reports about myself. So I'm checking all of those in and generating a podcast episodes speaking about good old Justin King to hear a little bit and get nuances and understand. And again, I would never, or not that I wouldn't, it's hard work to go and read those PDF reports again and again, but to have people speaking about them, just be able to hit play while I'm at the gym going for a run.
You can really maximize your time because now you can listen to things while you're doing other things. So while you're driving, commuting, cleaning up, working out, whatever it is, that's a great use case for it. Taking it a step further, I had a client who is trying to hire an AI developer, right? An AI marketing person. And so this client sent me, they were like, well, we have these 5 resumes and they all look qualified. We're not sure which one to go with. And I had helped them with the job description. Well, me and ChatGPT helped them create the job description. And so now they have these resumes. So they're asking me, and I'm like, I want to look at these resumes. So I popped the resumes into the chat in ChatGPT where I had the job description. I say, based on these people's qualifications, which one do you think would be the best fit and why? And it gave me a summary. It read all the PDFs and told me which candidates it thought would be the best hires. So taking your approach to using Notebook LLM, I could probably do the same thing. And if I'm trying to make a hiring decision, just throw the top candidates into Notebook LLM, give it some background information. And then when I go on my jog, I can listen to these AI podcasters discuss the different candidates. And then at the end, it's like, well, we think this candidate would be the best.
Would be that.
Wow. That's crazy.
A lot of use cases.
You know, Justin,
Yeah.
These are 2 people having a podcast. We could be AI, right? Me and you. Our days are numbered, man.
Man, this is true. This is true.
Yeah.
Let's not take this episode live so that we don't ever let people know about this tool.
Yeah.
Let's keep it a secret.
Let's keep it a secret so we don't get replaced in our high-paying podcast job here. We don't want to lose it, right? Which is we make 0 from this podcast. This is just a labor of love. But hey, we got to fight so that AI can't take our personality, right? You got to know there are certain things that you can't replicate from a human being, that personal touch, right? At least not yet. It's getting closer and closer every day. But hopefully, Justin, you and I won't be replaced anytime soon.
Hopefully not. And that's why I always say the real AI, authentic intelligence. That's what we can each still lean into. Lean into your authentic intelligence. Own it.
100%. Wow, that's a great place to end it. Thanks, Justin.
Thanks, Ethan. Cheers.
That's a wrap for today's episode of Kingspiration. We hope this conversation sparked insights to ignite action in your life and business.
We're on this journey together, sharing our challenges and successes to help all of us take the next step towards building momentum and ultimately reaching our goals.
If you found value in today's episode, please share it with someone else who might benefit and leave us a 5-star review.
And remember to hit subscribe so you don't miss out on our weekly conversations. Until next time, keep rolling, keep growing, and keep being inspired.